If he dies,
Oh shit!
he dies. And
Are
of
we
course,
live
I
or
put the
right.
are we still in backstage?
No, we're live. We're live, and of course, I
Are
put it on
we?
video. This is the video I wanted to put. Actually, hold on. Let's kind of go back and imagine that
Mhm.
we're gonna restart the stream again.
Jordy, you know, one of these days, the chickens are going to come home to roost.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Crazy. This is obscene.
Ooh, now we're live, by the way.
Now we're live.
Of
Yeah,
course,
we're live.
we've been live for 14 minutes.
Oh God, all the things I've said.
I know. Oh no, horrible.
Sketchy collector.
How I hate everybody.
I plead the fifth.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, we're actually like 53 seconds ago. I just wanted to put that one there. But I want to say hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Collector's Night. And yes, it is Friday. Yes, it is 9:10 p.m. Sorry for the delay. We just have some technical difficulties as always. And we're going to have an amazing show tonight. We have a lot to talk about. Yes, we know what's happening with the Hot Toys versus T-Dubs. We're going to talk about that in the show.
Mm.
I have no idea.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And actually, we have now a third announcement or a third, I guess, notice, if you will. But we're gonna go over that. 2 from Toys Wonderland, 1 from Hot Toys. So we're gonna go over all that. You're gonna hear our thoughts. We're gonna tell like it is. So we're not gonna be politically correct. So it's gonna be a very spicy episode. So if you're looking for something politically correct, this is not for you. We're gonna pretty
Somewhere over there.
much tell it out and say how we feel.
Yep.
Obviously, we're not always right or wrong. We're just gonna say what
I
we
just
think.
want to hurt people. That's why I come on these streams.
You tend to do that, my friend. You tend to do that. And of course, we're gonna talk about things that we like, as Hot Toys announcements. We're gonna talk about statues, and of course, we have the 1980s are the best segment later in the video or in the show. I didn't prepare anything because I was really working so late, but we figured it out. You know, we have an awesome panel. The Novi should be joining us in another 45 minutes or so. So we're gonna have a banging show. And I'm gonna start with my friend Anthony from Sixel Mafia in the house. What's up, sir?
Well, hello there. What's up, everybody?
Are you ready for tonight?
Oh yeah, dude. I was ready last year. So
He was born ready.
I was born ready, as they say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good to be here, man. It's good to be here. Been hella busy, so.
I know. It's gonna be fun. And you have a brand new camera, which is pretty much amazing.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, dude's rocking, bro.
It's a
A
beast.
lot of work stuff. So, not on here. I'm using the old camera here, but the new camera there, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's sick, man. We can wait for those shots. And of course, we have the man that never sleeps,
Hi.
Joao, in the house. What's up, friend?
Hi.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm very tired, but
Of
yeah,
course. You were streaming at
it's
3 o'clock in the morning.
You caught me, right? This guy
You
go
were
to the
cheating on me.
shed. Go
That's
to the
cheating.
shed. What are you doing awake? Go to sleep. What?
Yeah,
what-
this guy was on Marco's show, 16 Fix, and I'm just kind of, I was checking my phone. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing there? He has to stream at 9 a.m. his time. And it's 3 o'clock.
Right.
No sleep. I don't want to hear it. I want to be late. No. You're gonna be there, my friend. So, yeah, man, he was kind of hiding.
I was not gonna hiding. I would always appear here. I will not miss your stream. But if you ask me if I'm, forget it. Pass to Desi
Still here.
or to George.
Still here.
Yeah, no, this is kind of living in common. But anyway, we're gonna Desi, how you doing, my friend? Welcome another episode of Collector's Night.
Friday nights are always good. They're always good nights. Thank you, Dante. Glad to be here. There's a little bit to talk about, not that much. I don't see what we can talk about today, but we'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
I'm sure we'll think of something to talk about.
Perhaps.
Maybe we'll
We'll
have
just
something.
search some forums and find something.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Some press release or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. And of course, this guy, Josh from Metamorphic Customs in the house. Hello, Papa.
Wait, what? Whoa.
I didn't know you were
I knew
hiring
it.
staff, Desi.
So I'm hiring.
Oh,
I'm
Common Concepts.
his
Sorry.
pupil. He's teaching me how
I just
to
want to
bake.
make sure that you guys are paying attention. So, Josh from
That must be it.
in the house.
How is everyone? Hello. Hi.
Hello, I've come to hurt all of you.
Hi. Hey. How do you do?
Oh man, I can tell this is gonna be crazy, but this is how we start tonight's show, Collectors Night. All right, so let me say hi to the people on the chat real quick because we have a lot of people. Chris K in the house. What's up, my friend? 1:30 in the morning in England, or 1:30 p.m. No, in the morning. In the morning? No, yeah, in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning.
We have the collector number one in the house. It's gonna get spicy tonight. Let's get it. It's gonna be a spicy show, man. Tuli in the house. The Insane One. We have Hector V. We have Single Soul Rider in the house, as always, representing the community here. We have Zeno. Hello, my friend. Welcome in. Louis Livitz. We have HAWKWARZ Toys or HAWKWARZ Collectibles. What's up, my friend? We have, what else do we have here? DT Arman in the house. Christian, Detour Collections, Pablo Mesa, Young Squid. We have Josh from Comic Concepts as well. We have
Only you can skip me.
CN.
You know I'm here.
I know, man. CN, Chris Santos, Ash, David in the house, Luis in the house as well. And let me see who else we have. People.
That
We have-
doesn't
what-
demonetize you or hurt
Oh.
the Google search.
Oh my
Who made
balls!
that?
In the house,
Mhm.
Eric, David,
Eric.
More Worship, Blackbird Tech in the house. What's up, my friend? Welcome in. Beam, Six Skill Simon in the house. Yo, what's up? And everyone watching at home tonight. All right, so we're gonna start the gut. We're gonna start the gut, man, because this is gonna be
Rotted. Let's do it.
this is gonna be a very controversial topic. You know, we have people that supports one, doesn't supports the other. They don't care, and it's fine. You know, at the end of the day, this is a hobby. Really, this is not like a major event in life, but I think it's worth to talk. So I am going to share my screen first. So let me see if I can do this the right way so I don't make a mess. And the first thing we're gonna go is this. All right, so I'm gonna put it on the screen. No, this is not it. Choose Kubich. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on the screen. And I'm going to start with Anthony. I'm going to start in order, right? So we got the announcement from Hot Toys. We have the announcement from Toys Wonderland. So Hot Toys started first, and they're pretty much saying, just to summarize, that they are not authorized sellers. They're not authorized distributors. They're not wholesale partners. And yet they've been doing business, as we know, fulfilling pre-orders, you know, getting into markets that they're not supposed to, and making this thing very big, right? And of course, you know, Hot Toys is not blind, and they've been seeing stuff. And now that orders are getting a bit difficult, or not difficult, pre-order numbers are really low now everywhere.
Mhm.
You know, where official distributors are coming in, you know, they need to say something, right? And just to be clear, what Hot Toys is saying in this announcement is that they are not working with Toys Wonderland. They are not part of. They're not part of Hot Toys. They're not official distributors. They're not official wholesale partners. However, they've been working as such, and they've been fulfilling pre-orders, doing wholesale programs everywhere, and it's been a mess, right? It's been a mess. But I want to hear your thoughts about this. You know, do you? Let me straight ask you this question: was Hot Toys too late to say this? Because this is something that we all knew. We were talking about this many times, all the time. What are your thoughts?
Well, I know it's kind of like people have been kind of laughing a little bit, just out of the verbiage there, right? Like, it has recently come to Hot Toys' attention. It's like, really? Like, no, it's not recent. But I think what it is this was the this was the kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, and there's a multitude of things going on behind the scenes, I think, that led up to this, this statement, right? But again, coming back into the verbiage of it, it's interesting when you read it, because I mean they're literally saying without our consent, right? Like we don't authorize them at all in any form to promote or market or even sell our figures. Like they're coming out and saying we do not allow them to sell our figures, right? I mean, that's the thing. That's the real words here that people need to be paying attention to. Now, whether or not, I mean, if they're going to still do it, right? They're still going to do it. But I think between, a few weeks ago, the initial part was the Arena Fet, right? The Arena Fet was limited to, I think, 300 pieces in Hong Kong. It may have been 500. I don't remember. It's 300 or 500, right? Mm-hmm. But the majority of people there could not buy their figure. They got all scooped up by, Toys Wonderland and their cohorts, and then sold. So on one point, the population was upset that they didn't get their figure. Rightly so. Then they do this crazy fire sale, right? Which is like a liquidation sale, like way below cost. And remember, they're resellers. They're not a retailer, right? So they aren't even getting anything at cost. There's no percentage off for these guys. It's just like it's just like all of us on the panel. We decided to just buy a bunch of Hot Toys and resell them. Like we get no perks, right? So they totally destabilize the market. Then, there's this whole statement about how, so-and-so's, can't come into the store. He got blacklisted from taking photos. They're taking these steps to be like, hey, listen, this is not cool what you guys are doing. And they did it, they did it with Queen Studios, right? They put out the Joker, the in-art Joker, for $400 less, and Queen Studios slapped one of these announcements out right away. Say, hey, we'll take legal action. You're devaluing our, it's just a bunch of shady shit. So, is it too little too late? I don't think so. I just think they're finally at that point. And you notice it came out right after they just did another like liquidation sale, right? They did that post, and then Hot Toys slapped this down. So it was a long time coming, and I'm sure Sideshow has a heavy hand in there too, because they are their partners. And it's kind of like what can you do to combat this situation within the confines of international law, right?
Right.
Them, they're not an actual entity, right? Last year we noticed that happened, right? Sideshow shut down Toys Wonderland's website like 3 times last year. But just come back up. Just get another DNS. I mean, they can't really mess with them. So, it's a whole clusterfuck that we can continue to talk on, but I'll pass it along for right now as we continue this conversation. But it's funny. The response is funny.
It is. The response is funny. I mean, one thing is that Hot Toys again is saying that, they are not pretty much, they're using their brand to promote, to sell, to even offering wholesale partnerships. Like, if you're a reseller, everyone can be a reseller. Shit. Everyone can be a reseller. There's nothing wrong with that. You can resell your toys. You can whatever is okay, because you buying it. You already pay for it, and you can resell it for whatever price you want. You can sell it for $5 if you want. It's once you pay for it, is yours, right?
Right.
Now, once you start fulfilling orders, taking pre-orders, you're acting as a distributor. You're acting as an official dealer. And that's not what they are. And that's the problem. Not the problem of reselling. So don't get confused, guys. The problem here is not because they're reselling. The problem here is because they doing wholesale, they doing pre-orders, they doing payment plans, which I think is okay. In the scheme of things, I think they can definitely do that. But more so is that, right? You cannot have, you cannot fulfill pre-orders if you're not an authorized dealer. You need to, in order for you to fulfill pre-orders, is because you guarantee you're gonna get those figures. You guarantee that you're gonna get it, right? Because you have a partnership with the official company who can provide you the whatever number is the number of your orders that you got initially, right? They don't do that. What they do is they get people to make the lines and pre-order as much as they can, get everything for them, then sell it for a huge markup. And then once they know the figure is released in the States, they kill it with a lower price so they can compete again with the distributor in the US. So go ahead.
Yeah, well, just to wrap on that note, it's that it's also this the shady and fraudulent practices that they do. Like, there's I'm sure some people know or may not know that on Instagram they've got their Hot Toys Collectibles or whatever Instagram. That's not Hot Toys.
They bought them out. They basically had Hot Toys collectors that genuinely love the hobby and were like, hey, we're going to give you guys a bunch of free figures if you just throw in there that you should get all your Hot Toys.
Yeah, well, yeah, and on the link in their bio is all Toys Wonderland, and but there's people I know too that follow them thinking that's like Hot Toys official Instagram, and it's not.
Yeah.
And as Dante's mentioning, like using all their photos. See, that's how they can combat it, right? And you'll notice that now if you get emails, because dude, I've unsubscribed. You can't unsubscribe from those bitches, man. They keep sending you emails.
They
so
legally force emails.
Yeah, and I've noticed in the emails as well. Those images are now like cropped too, right? Like they're trying to, but it's like it's still the Hot Toys photos.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
they edit somehow. They add something, so it's technically edited.
Yeah,
right?
but it's a fucked up situation because I said this last night with Lael too. We were on Instagram and I was like, we've all done it, or most of us have done it. Sometimes you just shit, dude. They drop $100 trooper, I'm buying the trooper. I've done that. I would never buy regular shit, but when something's so dirt cheap, you're like, fuck, man. I mean, that's fucking cheap, and like, I'll risk $100 trooper, but it's still a principle though, right? Like I bought a trooper and they didn't send it, and then they gave me some bullshit runaround, and then I emailed them back and forth. And mind you, every time you email them, they wait like 3 days to get back to you. So if it's like one sentence and you want to like kind of follow up on that statement, now you got to wait another 3 days. And, they were like, oh, well, we'll give you 30% off your next purchase. I was like, no, I want my figure. And then I just happened to say, this is my YouTube channel for what it's fucking worth. You know what I mean? I'm going to put you on blast, and then I'm going to reverse the charges, on my credit card. And then they got back to me. There was no 3-day wait time that time. They got right back to me. And then they shipped me my figure. But it's like, what if you don't have a platform? What if you don't have a voice? What if people go to, Justin's channel and they're new collectors, and that's the big problem here. And they're like, yeah, go buy it from Toys Wonderland. And people just buy it because they're like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. This guy's got all the subs. It seems like, okay, this is great. That happens daily, right? New people buy shit and they don't know, and they're just a collector. And then
they follow blindly. That's
and then what does that give their, what I mean? What kind of image are you showing them if they don't get their figure? They're like, wait a minute, what is this? It's just a whole
one thing I learned, and I'm gonna talk just about me in this one. One thing I learned, that if you know something is wrong, if you know that whoever you're associated with is doing something that is not right, especially if you're a public figure, right? I mean, I know we're like small. I know we're not like super big or anything like that.
Right.
And I don't want to be. But what I'm saying is that if you are someone who has a mic and has a platform to talk to people, you need to be transparent and honest as possible, right? Of course, business is business and you want to make money, and it's absolutely fine, right? Everyone wants to make some money. Perfectly fine. Nobody's questioning that. But if you know that a company is doing a shady business practice and you still push people to go there knowing all the this is not something that was made up overnight. I experience it, you experience it, a lot of people experience it. So this is not made up urban legend. This is reality, right? So then you should say and say, you know what? Let's do something about this. Just try to fix this problem. If you want me to continue talking about you, let's find a solution, right? But looks like still the same, even worse now, right? But I want to go to Joao. Then we're gonna circle back. I know it's a lot of stuff to talk. But this happened. Announcement from Hot Toys, the counterback from Toys Wonderland, which by the way, I don't know where they got that information from, because Hot Toys is clearly not saying that. And of course, they need to defend themselves, so they can nitpick and tweak the words. But now you have side by side comparison, so you can read it both ways and see what one company said and what the other one said. But I want to hear your thoughts about this, Senor Joao.
I still with the same that I said last night on Marco. I still think this announcement from Hot Toys is it's a cup full of nothing. because Hot Toys already know about this long time ago. And it's only once Toys Wonderland reach a sales volume that is so high that Sideshow, as the official distributor for North America, probably they told Hot Toys, you need to do something because we are the official ones. But Hot Toys can't do anything because under the Hong Kong law, Toys Wonderland can do whatever they want with the figures they get. That's the problem. Before me and Desi, we were speaking about that. You remember this? We thought that probably Toys Wonderland is not going more with that pre-order ticket thing at Secret Base. That most probably they found a way to get distribution batches for them. If that's so, the fault is at Hot Toys side, because they are giving the product to Toys Wonderland, and the volume Toys Wonderland is selling and is putting out pre-orders and sales, it's huge. I don't think it's people going to pre-order in Secret Base. They got somewhere they got a deal with some distributor, even if it's in China. They can get the orders in China and then ship to Hong Kong. I don't know what have they done. And then you have other problem is that Hot Toys with these resellers, there is no any agreement about the price, the selling price, so they can fluctuate the price as much as they want. They can sell high, low. That's why you see Troopers at such a lower price, because they can sell the first batch at a very high price, that then they can afford the loss on the Troopers at a lower price. In my opinion, because I never bought from Toys Wonderland, I don't have experience with them. But I think this is still a problem for Hot Toys to solve themselves, and that's not. I don't have much more to say about this, really.
No, it is also a good point, and I want to say hi to a couple people on the chat, because we have a bunch of people tonight. So thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to hit the like, of course. Brother Constance in the house. Jay, what's up, my friend? Easy Fix says Dante's my go-to reviewer. That smooth, sexy Latin voice. I don't know if that's smooth. But thank you, man. Thank you for that. Okay, Howard Story says real quick. Don't you think 99% of this has to do with the ethics of their practice? In addition, with PayPal now taken away, friends and family on PayPal, I'm sure part of this is due to these Hong Kong dealers. Well, the fact that they're not offering PayPal anymore, that's a red flag right there.
That has nothing to do with collectibles. Everyone in every business has been trying to go under the table, getting money that's tax-free. Collectibles business is a tiny percentage of what that law was. They're just trying to track people trying to avoid paying taxes with PayPal.
Well, to Josh's point too, though, like when there's so many, and you may know, as a business that like, or maybe not. Hopefully, you don't know. But if too many people charge back on their PayPal to your business, you get penalized, 30-day suspension. You're not authorized to, so that happens every other month with them, which is another glaring insight to that, is you're like, wow, there are so many people, my girl, if there's so many people that, are charging back, over, that should tell you something, right? Like, what the fuck? Like,
I'm going to hijack for a moment because I want to move on to Desi. So then we can come to me and I can get really fucking fired up. I know I cursed. I don't care. I'm absolutely ready. I have my notes. We are going to educate these beautiful people watching, and we're going to educate them with facts, not theories. Okay?
Facts, not feelings.
Facts, not feelings. But this is what we're supposed to do. Like that's why we always talk about prices. We always talk about pre-orders, and of course, we never, we're not saying we're right or wrong, because we just kind of share our opinions and our thoughts. We never say, "Oh, I'm right and you're wrong. My point is valid. Yours is not." The point of this is to be responsible, man. Like, we're collectors on the end of the day, and we kind like it's kind of effed up that we see people posting, "Oh, you know what? I paid this like 3 weeks ago and nothing happened, and then I got an email saying that it was lost." I kind of feel the pain as well, because I was in those shoes too. I got the same issues before. I have to fight for a month to get my refund, and I have to open a PayPal case to get my refund. But I didn't get a refund. I got a stock credit, which I didn't use it. I'm still there. Probably I'm not going to use it ever, you know, just because I wanted to get a deal. But I did it knowingly. I did it because I knew what I'm going to get into. So nobody pressured me to do it. It was my decision. So I knew. So that's why I didn't want to say nothing, because it was my decision, and I did it because I knew what's going to happen. But it kind of sucks. Other people don't know that. Other people don't know that because they're new to collecting. They follow whoever they want to follow, and they just go with what they say. And this is what it is, right? We somehow influence people to do stuff, right? Because we get the figures firsthand, we review it, we share it, blah blah blah, all that, right? Everything is awesome, everything is beautiful, but also we need to be responsible of what we say. That's the reason why I decided to cut ties with anyone in Hong Kong and sacrifice everything, because technically I was doing okay in YouTube, and after I cut all that, I didn't get the chance to get day ones as I used to had it before, with pretty much every figure. Now I don't. Now I'm paying with my own money the price that it is, but that's on me. That's my decision, right? Because I think if I'm gonna start talking about something, my actions needs to reflect that, right? I cannot say, oh yeah, fuck, Hong Kong Resellers, I'm still promoting everyone. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? But Josh, I want to hear your thoughts, sir.
Okay, here we go. It's time. No,
hold on, let me get out of the call.
Wait, do you want me to give you
I actually want you to stay here, because I want to really dissect each of these posts, because when they make these announcements, this is serious stuff that needs to be written carefully, and they write it carefully too, just in case there's any backlash or backfire. So rather than rip apart based on my own opinions, I genuinely want to dissect this. And I want to dissect it by each line with people, and I want to educate. Okay? So Toys Wonderland Limited is not and has not been a Hot Toys wholesale partner, distributor, or dealer. Okay. Facts. So they're flat out saying, like, out of nowhere, that Toys Wonderland they don't want any affiliation with Toys Wonderland. They are not affiliated with Hot Toys. It has recently come into Hot Toys' attention that Toys Wonderland Limited is without Hot Toys consent. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. It hasn't recently come to their attention. It's just become such an issue that they have to face it. And for the people that are saying this is sideshow bullying, shut up. I'm sorry. Shut the hell up. Because you're not educated on the subject at all. You're just trying to defend what is known as a reseller, and they're not a reseller. And I want everyone right now to go onto Google and look up the definition of distributor. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. Okay. You can see it in the background on my screen. So I don't care. The definition of it. Oh my God.
But they said, you see, in that announcement, they said 3 keywords right there: wholesale partner, distributor, or dealer.
Distributor and dealer. A
that right there
is also a reseller, believe it or not. Okay. A distributor, by definition, is an agent who supplies goods to stores and other businesses that sell to consumers. A wholesale liquor distributor is one example. All right. Here's another definition, which is, I want to make sure I pick the right one.
Everybody take notes. This will be on the test.
A distributor, one who distributes. Thanks.
Hold on, Professor Josh. Hold on.
Well, sure.
It's true, though. I mean, if that's not one of them.
No, so to put it in perspective, and I'll let Josh continue, is that so Sideshow would be a distributor. And then mom and right, and then brick and mortar shops, local comic book stores could be the dealers. So they're authorized, right? It's just that chain of command, right? So here's the main distro. We hook up all our dealers, and then our dealers are all out on the corners, just slanging the product. It's the same business. It's, that's exactly what it is. And that's, Josh is right. But anyway, continue.
Okay. Another definition: a distributor is one who sells goods outside their territory to other nations or countries. Okay. So everyone thinks that a distributor is simply by volume. Or the other side is volume doesn't dictate if you're a distributor versus a reseller. Guess what? It does. Because what does Toys Wonderland do? And they admitted it in their announcement. They sell to other territories, such as America. And they even said they are an option for others who do not want to purchase from a single site in America. Well, okay, that's a distributor. Okay, we're right there. I'm just targeting that first defense. They are by definition a distributor and by law based on all these comments. Okay, so that's it. There's no more argument that they're a reseller. They're not. They're a distributor. Okay, and they've admitted it in this statement, not realizing they admitted it. Okay, so we're just going to start there. The next thing, they promote their stuff everywhere left and right. They have paid off reviewers. And as of right now, I want to read the chat too. I don't want to just unload. I don't know who wrote the chat. It doesn't even matter. It's not even an important detail of the current situation, in my opinion. That's just looking for drama. The next thing is how they market themselves. They have a wholesale program, which, by the way, that whole post circulated today on all the forums, and all of a sudden the page is gone. Okay? There's another Toys Wonderland announcement, which I'm sure we'll get to, that talks about how, yes, they do have a wholesale program, but Hot Toys isn't on the list. All of a sudden, Hot Toys isn't on the list. So still, they are not a reseller. They are officially a distributor. Do you think Sideshow goes around and picks and chooses what manufacturers they're all of a sudden reseller versus distributor are? Perfect example is Hex Collectibles with Sideshow Collectibles, or Jimmy Palace, which are anime statues. They are the exclusive sellers for North America, okay? They're the exclusive, okay? They're a distributor. However, they don't then go to Tweeterhead and go, well, we're a reseller because other people sell it too and we're not exclusive. That's not how that shit works. That's not how any of that works. So I'm sick of the people trying to defend simply because they feel guilty about being faithful to their wallets. No one's saying you can't look for the cheapest price. But for the people that are saying, well, I don't want to buy from Sideshow, so the only option is Toys Wonderland. Bullshit. Because there are retailers in every country and every zone. This announcement right here says a single site in America. Guess what? I'm a site in America. A lot of you don't buy from me. That's fine. But that's bullshit to say that you don't want to spend high prices with Sideshow, and so you have to go to Toys Wonderland. That's shit. Because there's plenty of other retailers that have now gone out of business because of Toys Wonderland. We have been talking about this for over a year, since Thanos Infinity War came out during COVID, how this was going to happen. All of this was going to happen. Hot Toys market was going to be destabilized. Mass production was going to occur on these figures, and everything was going to tank.
Pre-orders are gonna low. Pre-orders are gonna drop. Figures are gonna super low.
Yeah, it's all happened. It's all happened.
And guess what? Do you know why Hot Toys has finally approached this? Because they can no longer ignore it and reap the profits of a licensed retailer taking a small cut and selling it underhand to Toys Wonderland, which is obviously what's happening here outside of the missing pallet or paying random people to line up in front of the store, whatever it's called, the secret base. There is too much quantity moving for that to be the case. So usually what happens with Hong Kong sellers, or where all production for all collectibles happens in China, is a licensed retailer / distributor will under the table sell to someone who's not licensed or they're not allowed to sell to for maybe a 5% cut. Because it's not, you remove all liability and you make a quick 5%. And on top of that, you increase your orders to get a larger discount with the manufacturer. That is how the China market works in collectibles. You give them you take 5% of their profits and you tell them, I'm not dealing with any of your issues that occur. And that's it. That's it. So that's how they get their stock. I'm going to say this right now. I don't have proof that that's happening, but you can't tell me that they can get over 1,000 figures just from paying old people on the road to go into secret base. Get real. Please.
That's gonna be that's the equation that we're trying to solve right now. So I'm gonna go to Desi now. I want to also hear his thoughts. We spoke
I'm
about
not even
this.
done.
No. We're gonna have a second round. I just want to
That was
give
just the
everyone.
appetizer. We'll go to me, and then we'll go back to
just
Josh.
The taste test.
This is the
just
taste
a little
test.
sip of wine.
Yeah.
So as we were talking about this earlier today when this happened, and we had some exchange there, very interesting, quoting famous movies about chickens are coming to roost now, because at one point, when you put water in a glass and it's full and you keep putting water, it's gonna start like, it's gonna be super full. Something is gonna happen after that, right? It's gonna be an effect. So we've been talking about this for a good year, probably talking about how we see things can happen, and little by little start happening. We talk about pre-orders, we talk about fulfilling orders. These guys are acting as a wholesale partners, are acting as a distributors, which they're not, taking orders from people. Like pretty much, if you don't know nothing about the company, are you trusting whoever's telling you to go there? And this company does you bad, like they don't give you what you are paying for, and then you're on your own. It's kind of horrible. But I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
You're right, Dante. We've been talking about this for a year now. But it's not just this. This stream, we talk about new releases, we talk about what we like, we talk about products, but in general, we talk about this niche hobby of ours, and this is part of the hobby. The state of the industry is very much part of the hobby because it predicts what you're going to see in the future. And like you said, almost everyone has been saying something like this is coming. Now, when it comes to these letters that we have up on the screen, I'm not going to speak to the technicalities or the legalities of both, because I think Josh could speak better to that than I can.
He's a lawyer tonight.
Right.
But there's a lot of technicalities that he sounds, it sounds like he's right from, I'm thinking the same thing, but hey, I'm not a lawyer. But I'll say this, I'll say the obvious, guys, and I'm sorry, but the point is, something's gone horribly wrong. Like Josh said, Hot Toys has either been ignoring it or just hasn't really put enough effort, enough being the key word, to stop. And now it's really, really bad. Specifically, you have Troopers for $100-something bucks. Okay, that's number one. They are taking the Best Buy approach, the electronic stores, for anybody who isn't aware, where they had a whole mess of CDs and DVDs for sale, Best Buy, and they took a loss on every single CD and DVD because the point was to get you into the stores to buy their electronics. They're basically doing that for Troopers. If they have the amount of stock to do that and still make profit on other things, something has gone terribly wrong on distribution and on essentially a lack of rules.
Absolutely massive to be able to take those kinds of losses. Simple as that.
Exactly. To take I don't know their wholesale prices.
Numbers.
I don't know their wholesale prices, but I know enough to know it has to be much higher than that. So they're taking significant losses.
That's what I was
saying. They're still making a profit because they're still in business.
Right. You can, real quick, before I go to Mafia, real quick. So, yeah, Troopers for $100, $150, $160. It's very, very undervalued. They're undervaluing the product. And, they have a, when they produce a figure, I'm not an expert in this, but I guess common sense. But if you produce a figure or anything, you put a set price for it, right? You say, okay, my MSRP is going to be, I don't know, $500. You can sell it for $550, right? Whoever. Now, when you get that product that is valued at $500 and you put it for like $200, you are devaluing the brand as well. So this is not only devaluing the figure itself, but the brand, and Hot Toys is supposed to be, again, quote unquote, top tier company, right? In terms of high end figures. So if you have a company that gets pretty much every stock available and prevents people from Hong Kong to get their own figures, so some of them they can't even get their figures, or if they get it, they have to pay like higher prices because this company is pretty much getting a lot in an obscene amount of numbers. Like, it's crazy.
You look at the people that support Toys Wonderland and then think about how most collectors aren't vocal. 90 to 95% of collectors don't talk on forums about how much they love who they buy from. They buy it and that's it.
Right.
So imagine how many people are buying behind the scenes. And then you keep hearing from every country, oh, Sideshow's expensive and No one else has it. So Toys Wonderland, do you know how many people that is? Do you know how many people are on this earth and in this hobby?
It's a lot of people.
Sorry, I cut you off.
And then Sideshow too. Like, can you imagine how bad it must feel for Sideshow? Because Hot Toys is probably telling Sideshow, like any manufacturer, here, we'll sell you this product. Remember, this is the MSRP. Every now and then, you could probably drop your price below MSRP by 5 to 10%, whatever it is. And then Sideshow's turn around and say, wait, but they're selling to my region. Only I'm supposed to sell to my region. And you told me I could drop prices by 10%. What? Like, that's not fair. Like, so this is another reason why it's gotten so bad, probably for Hot Toys.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm gonna go to Anthony, but we have 150 people watching. Please take a moment and hit the like button, support the channel. This helps the algorithm, help us to be out there, and to help people and also to inform people. That's what we do pretty much, right? We don't gonna get anything in return, but at least we can go to bed and sleep at night knowing that we said what we needed to say. Anthony, you can continue with your thoughts.
Oh shit! Well, I was got me all fucked up. No, to Desi's point.
Let me give you some motivation here. Let's go.
All right, let's get some motivation. All right,
let's go. Let's go.
It is. It's think of Sideshow, right? Like Desi was saying, you only have their margin is pretty low. Below MSRP. They can't drop too much, right? So it's messed up because we're all in this whatever we're in right now, recession, shit's all crazy, inflation, rent costs, gas, food, whatever, we're all broke. Like, it sucks, right? So naturally, in anything in life, we want to get the best deal that we can get. And as we all know, collecting Hot Toys or collecting 6-scale figures is not a cheap hobby, right? One could argue, well, you shouldn't be collecting if you can't afford it. Well, that's a bit different, right? Because most part, we all can't afford it. That's why we collect them. You know what I mean? So, but when we see something like that, like I said, or Desi said, $100 troopers, I got a couple $100 troopers. I was like, fuck it. I'll risk $100 to see what happens. I'm not going to spend $300-400. You know what I mean? Fuck that. I'll never get, chances are I won't get my figure. So, two out of 3 troopers that I bought over the last 6 months, I got 2 out of 3, right? And then I eventually got the third, but I had to, you know what I mean? It was like pulling a, arm and leg here to be like, yo, where's my shit? Like, that's not cool, right? And then, on Josh's point, because he runs, he has his shop, you got to think about that. And Josh is usually cheaper than Sideshow, right?
No one ever uses me in a
right. Well, so like I would hit up Josh or something, right? I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. I could save like $20 or something. That adds up. That's a good, because we don't just buy one thing and that's it. We buy, continuously. So you'd think, okay, good savings. That's good. This is good. It's local too, blah, blah, blah. But then you're like, well, shit, I can still get it like $150, $200 cheaper somewhere else. And that's the general people that, I'm not just saying me, but that's like natural human, course is like, oh, well, wait a minute. Why would I go from anywhere else? Oh, there may be a chance. Well, some people will take the chance, right? Some don't, but it's just like that all unfolded, dude. Like Josh said, we've been watching this happen. The economy's screwed. The buy sell trade groups are completely fucked. Like, people will sold out figures are below retail. Doesn't matter. Star Wars, DC, Marvel, it doesn't fucking matter.
Here's
what I mean?
The thing. When we first started talking about this, it was one of the first times I got on a show. I got ripped apart for mentioning any of this. They're like, you're crazy. Be loyal to your wallet. It's all about the best dollar value. Well, guess what? A lot of people, when you buy these figures, part of the safety is being able to sell them for what you paid. That's how a lot of people are able to afford this collection. They sell their old, they get their new, and guess what? Usually on the old figures, you were able to turn a profit.
You were back in the day.
Really nice. You could collect these really expensive high-end collectibles that we all dreamed of having as kids and not feel like you're going to lose your money. It was more like a stock that you could enjoy physically. Now, you see people left and right selling their collections, and they can't even afford their own goddamn bills with the sales they're making on these figures. I just wanted to add on that point.
No, you're right.
Because
And
it takes you to place. It takes
Also,
the
buy low,
irony-
sell high, guys. Remember, not the
Well,
time to
listen. I'll pass off on that note. But the irony of this is that Hot Toys currently are like considered like the best of 6-scale figures. Okay, and that could be an argument for another day. But if the general consensus, right, they're Hot Toys, right? You're like,
Right.
wow, okay, these are premium, these are top tier, and they're the most depreciated toy on the market. That's the irony of it, right? You're like, damn, you would think getting something so expensive and so well crafted would, like Josh was saying, back, in the day, they held their value for a while. You could, it's never a good idea to buy into them as an investment, but as a collector, you want to know that your shit has value. And if something comes up, you can offload your stuff. You're like, okay, well, shit, maybe I got a medical bill or something. And, and like you said,
Right.
you barely, you're not even breaking even now at that point. So it's
You are losing money on every figure, and
on every figure you buy.
that
So now,
kills the interest in general.
well, and
Right.
look what happens. So now everybody sees this, right? They're like, well, fuck that. I'm one of them. I only have like original trilogy now, right? I don't have my Snow Speeder Luke. You know why I don't have my Snow Speeder Luke? Because of the way because of everything that's happened right now. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna pick this shit up cheap. Someone's gonna sell it on Facebook for like $2 shipped. So now it's hit me. Like now I've got this expectation. Which, what does that do? Well, that completely kills the market. Because a year ago, I probably would have ordered it from Sideshow, or from Josh or something. Save a few extra bucks. But now, because of all the shit that's happened, everything's so devalued. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all fucked. So you're like,
It's
why am I
difficult.
going to buy it right now?
It is crazy. And let me go to Joao. So what you said is very valid. Not only this is killing the market itself, with brand new figures selling at one point super high and then super cheap, even way below retail in most cases. And that affects also regular people like us, who we are not like big resellers or stores. I'm not counting Josh because he has his own business, but us, if we need to sell something, we sell it. And yeah, we pretty much selling way under retail because this company is also offering new figures for really close to it as well. So that also affects us, so you pay one price for it, you pay retail price for it, now you're selling it way cheaper. And it shouldn't be the case. The case should be anything that is sold out, no in stock, everything that is sold out, you should be able to at least get what you pay for, at least. But what do you think, Joao? I know in China it's a bit different, but just give us your thoughts about this.
No, but my question is, if someone is selling their figures for below the price they bought, that's not Toys Wonderland fault, right?
No, of course not. Of course not. But it has to be a little bit, because let's say you have a transport trooper, right? Brand new. You bought a brand new sealed, right? In the States for $230 shipped, whatever. So now you sell it for $230 because you want to get your money back. You can even sell that brand new shipped because they're selling figures.
You're not even getting your money back
$150.
then, Dante, either. You're forgetting the tax and you're forgetting the shipping, right? Like in general, like if you're like, well, I'm gonna sell it for its best retail point.
but you will lose the taxes and you will lose. Yeah, let's say you lose $40
and PayPal fee or whatever fee.
No, but if you buy in a brand new figure, let's say I buy from Josh, right? I get my transport trooper, brand new seal. I say, you know what? I don't want to even open it. I want to sell it. You cannot even sell it at that price because it's selling cheaper. So it has to do with it too. But go ahead.
No, but I tell you what is even more interesting, and I'm telling you on my side here.
Mm-hmm.
If I go directly to the Hot Toys website, because Hot Toys here have 2 stores in China, that the website that you can pre-order the figures and buy some at stock. The Hot Toys official price, it's always more expensive than local stores or other online stores. Why Hot Toys price is more expensive, I also don't understand, but I can get at least $40, $50 cheaper from their licensed distributors. So, and that's a problem I have. For example, I happened with my Moff Gideon. I bought the Moff Gideon directly from Hot Toys, and now I could have bought it at stock for $50 cheaper than it is now. So the problem is not specific to North America and to Europe. It's in everywhere. It's something that Hot Toys never could get a hang of. It is to control the prices of their own products. There was never a specific guidelines like you should sell at this price or at this price. It's like it's free for all, and you get this wholesale price, and we recommend you selling you at 100, but we will not force you to. You can sell it at 80 or 75, and maybe that's a different business mentality from Asia to North America, because maybe the things work differently here, and that's the way it goes. Here I know, for example, that some stores here, if I want to buy, let's say I want to buy 10 hot toys, okay, I know I can get a better price for 10 hot toys than I can have only for one. And this is something that everyone's doing this over here for local market. So I mean, I feel bad as a collector, because the collectibles that we have are the value is not stable. It's going down. The example of Anthony, I got the snow speeder look. The price I got it, I could have bought it now at least $65 cheaper,
Right.
and probably will go even down. And I think this has to do also with the amount of production they make.
Well, and to your point, though,
I don't know.
as it always happens over there, right? It always happens. Every figure.
No. This happened since, I would say, 1-2 years ago. Because before, every hot toy would go up on price.
Right.
But
Same here in the States. They would, like Josh was saying, our value would appreciate slowly. But now over the past couple of years, right? So it's more global. But to your point now, so you have a company like that, in a few weeks, a month, 2 months later, that snow speeder Luke and any hot toy you can think of is now $50, $100 cheaper, right? And then they're making mad money, which is cool, because I'm all about making money, but think of it that way, right? Now they're selling it for much higher price than what they're really getting it for there. You see, therein lies the issue, is that they're not officially able, to do that, and then half the time you don't even get your shit. It's just like you're milking like every chance you can get, and it's inconsistent, right? It's inconsistent. We don't get, because I know you don't buy from them, you have no need to.
But normally it's like this: whoever gets as the more stock can control the price, right?
Right.
If you get a hold of a lot of stock, then you can play with the price as much as you want. And I don't know if that's the game they are trying to play.
I wouldn't say that at all. I think it's a mass panic when these figures release in other countries outside of Hong Kong. I think it's an every man for himself to unload as quickly as possible. I don't think it's about how much stock you have. I think it's about how quickly you can get rid of it and undercut under country, so you're not stuck with dead stock.
But that's the problem. That's why
all of them. It's not just Toys Wonderland. Everyone goes on a liquidation spree. Yeah. They're all on the same page.
That's why we've been saying it for a year. Hot Toys needs to control their production volumes, and that's why I believe they're at the core of the issue here. And I don't say that. I mean, I know it's negative. That's easier said than done, right? It's just one thing that they can improve on, and they have to improve on, because their brand is getting watered down. They have to come up with. Other companies do this, and it's going to be really hard for Hot Toys to do this. But they need to control their production volumes,
so here's the reality, though.
Yeah, control
who
they sell to.
Hot Toys doesn't care about any of us, or hasn't, from a retailer standpoint or a distributor standpoint. And I don't say that to shit on Hot Toys. I say it because it's smart business practice. If you are selling your figures to distributors and retailers, and they are constantly placing orders, why in God's name would you listen to someone saying, well, the figures are cheaper when they come out? It's like, I don't care. I made all my money. I sold all the figures. But
that's short-sighted, though.
It was a situation of they wanted have their cake and eat it too, right? Whatever the heck the saying is. So, wait, are we going on to like other people? Because I want to get into like the next half of this and why this is happening.
Yeah, let's go with Desi, because I know you have more.
I didn't want to take up all that.
No, I think that was it. I was just saying, I agree. It's just what Josh was just saying. Like, why would they care if they already got their money? But what we've all been saying, what a lot of us have been saying, is that mentality is, as you can see here on your screen on these right now, that's short-sighted, because ultimately it waters down your brand. It creates issues. You have distributors, the people you are selling to, saying, well, then we're going to not order as much because we've got all this dead stock. And then
Boom.
now, all of a
Boom.
sudden, like, oh, okay, now I think we should do something. I'm just saying that. Look, Hot Toys is great, but no one's perfect. And this is something they need to improve on, not being short-sighted when it comes to this.
Right.
And they need to say, okay, time to reel it back in. Reel in that greed a little bit.
But that's when you reach that very thin line where you pass from a high-end collectibles company to a bargain bin toys company.
Well, and that's what they're trying to, maybe too little too late, but that's what they're trying to do now. Because they're seeing that, right? If and I'm only speaking in America because that's where I'm at, so I have no frame of reference in any other country's sales, right? But if Sideshow's at the top of the fucking totem pole and they distribute to all the retailers in America underneath, right, through just the chain of command, essentially, if Sideshow themselves is like, fuck, I'm sitting on a lot of dead stock because like no one's buying our fucking Hot Toys. Now they have other stuff. They got their premium formats and their other they got Sideshow sells a lot of stuff.
They're a distributor. They sell
They're,
everything.
right. So, but the point is, if they themselves, the guys at the top of the food chain in America, are sitting on dead stock, then what about the people below them? Right? All the mom and pop stores, all the local retailers, there too. They might be able to get it from like the brick and mortars, right? They have customers that physically come into their store that don't even know what sideshow.com is, right? They're like, oh, cool, I'll buy that. That's pretty neat, you know? And they just support their shops, right? That they may not be in huge danger, but that's not a lot of volume. That's a couple of locals, right? So when you look at how the chain of events is occurring, everybody is having a hard time getting rid of shit. So if it affects everybody and then it goes back to Sideshow and then that goes back to Hot Toys, Hot Toys that's their money. And they're like, shit, okay, we can't get it to our main US distributor that can't get it to all their other people because they're not buying them. So think about how much money Hot Toys is actually losing.
Correct.
Right? That was my point.
Hold up. We got a new player has a
moment to say the novice in the house.
Yo, hello everybody.
What up, sir?
Hello.
You get claps. You get cheers. You get horns.
Oh God.
Welcome, my friend.
Thank you. I'll take it. Very nice.
So we going around the table again talking about this.
You're not skipping me.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna go with you. So the Toys Wonderland versus Hot Toys versus Toys Wonderland.
Oh goodness.
It
was. It's like a lawsuit, isn't it?
Hot Toys
versus the people, or
it feels like Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard 2.0 thing. So this is gonna be a thing, I think, for the next few weeks. I guess the topic. But I want to go with Josh so he can continue his point, and then I want to go with you, the novice, so you can enlighten us with your wisdom. And the chat is open, so you guys can ask questions as well. Okay, Josh, you can continue with your point.
So, and I want to piggyback off of Anthony and Desi because they hit the nail on the head. The reality is, and I'm not accusing Hot Toys of bad business practice. It was very smart, it was short-sighted, but it was smart business. Who cares how much of their stock is being produced if someone's buying it? So they were like, fine, whatever. But now that retailers have a ridiculous amount of dead stock, not only have so many mom and pop shops gone under, which means now they're not selling Hot Toys figures. Sideshow's stuck with a ton of dead stock, and all the retailers around the world are stuck with a ton of dead stock. Do you think I'm sitting here thinking about investing in extra Hot Toys when I'm trying to unload like literally anything? Thanos Endgame from a year and a half, 2 years ago? Yeah. I'm done. And so are a lot of other retailers. And quite frankly, so is Sideshow. There's no reason to invest so heavily in these figures anymore when they're worth nothing when they release. And the other side is, if you're a consumer and I'm a collector, I think the same thing on a lot of these. If there's a statue or figure that releases and is immediately discounted, why in God's name would I pre-order anything? It's not going to sell out. And I understand that what was it that just the Boba Fett
with exclusives and vehicles. We got to put the asterisk there.
We haven't even gotten to
Right?
that yet. But
Yeah.
the reality is there's the incentive to pre-order is gone, which means now Hot Toys has no idea what the true demand is on these releases that they're paying production for, because you've now changed the mentality of the collecting market. There is no more incentive to pre-order. So the only reason they are announcing this now is to try to keep people from buying from Toys Wonderland so that their distributors and retailers are happy again and they start ordering again, which is quite a bit too late. I think we're going to start a year now of very low number pre-orders. And I'm telling you,
and if any too, a lot of people are definitely not pre-ordering.
Yeah, I mean, and this is personal experience. Maybe I'm an outlier. Maybe I'm biased. I am not investing in Hot Toys. I'm investing in other stuff now. I'm, of course, supplying Hot Toys to the customers that order, but I am not doubling my orders. I am not buying extras. I am not taking that business risk. On top of that, do you know how much dead stock has been offered to other retailers because mom and pop shops have had to close their doors because they get annihilated with the current dead stock that's coming in? And it's mind-boggling to me. I understand staying true to your wallet. You're absolutely right as a consumer. You are welcome to do that. But don't you dare defend Toys Wonderland as a simple reseller. They are not a simple reseller, and all the facts are there. And if you want to follow a certain reviewer who blindly promotes these guys and follow a new forum that's been, or an old forum, I should say, that's been bought out by Hot Toys that now promotes them, and under the table uses their logo to promote Toys Wonderland, by all means, go ahead. But also shame on you, and you really don't have an opinion in this fight.
It's a very good point. It's a very good point. But with 175 people watching, I think we deserve more likes, guys. Let's make it to 100. You know, we are having a very good conversation. We pretty much, this is going to be spicy tonight. So we tell him like it is. You know, again, we're not the owners of the truth. We just try to inform and share our opinions, what we think about what's going on. Obviously, we're not saying we're right. We're not saying we're wrong. You are the ones who decide at home, not us. Jesse, any other points you want to make?
No, sir. Please go to Denobi. I think I made all my points, and Josh said it very well. So
I vented.
Mr. Denobi, we have to put these two together just to have a comparison between what Hot Toys said and what Toys Wonderland replied. And the keywords here, many people are getting confused, saying, "Oh, but it's a reseller. You can resell." Of course, you can resell anything. That's not the issue here. The issue here is that Toys Wonderland is been fulfilling pre-orders. It's been acting as a wholesale partner, and not only that, it's been pretty much downgrading or lowering the brand, the brand of Hot Toys by selling figures way under retail price, which at the end it's going to cause an issue because it's going to depreciate the brand of Hot Toys. I want to hear your thoughts about this. I know that you are well experienced in the community. You've been around for a few years now. So this is your platform, my friend. I want to hear your thoughts.
Is this the one that was written by Justin? The Toys Wonderland?
Did he really write it?
I mean, read it. Yeah. I mean,
it was written by a 7th grader.
It's really good English. I don't know if they have a lawyer or something.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's totally.
Yeah, it's just written for an announcement for a company. Yeah.
People were sending it to me, and I had to run it through a spell checker first, just before I could even lay my eyes on it. And then even then, I just, some of the words just were like who wrote this? A Muppet? I couldn't figure this out. I was like, this is stupid. So
it was like the circles.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I need a baby Goo Goo to write this thing. Like, that's what I should do. I should just do a skit on it and just have baby Goo Goo. Look, Toys Wonderland is clearly their end game, right? This is their little end game, and they've been accused of a lot of things. But I can tell you one thing: this whole situation where they're playing the victim here, where we've been aware that we've been accused of being an official distributor. Now that's bullshit right there. no one accused this little rinky-dink. And then the other aspect too about they're small, and that's bull. They're big enough that they've created shockwaves to the point that it's disrupted even though the local Hong Kong resellers in the local hot toy districts, in the toy shopping districts. It's that bad, right? So look, I'm dealing with them as, look, I got suckered into the 2-pack Boba Fett, right? I have never purchased anything from Toys Wonderland. And my weakness is discounts, coupons, savings. I am willing to wait for the best deal. My job is to curate the collection behind me. Show me what you got. I want the best deal. So when the 2-pack Boba Fett was on sale, I was like, all right, let me give them a shot. I've heard the horror stories of purchasing through Toys Wonderland, but I'm willing to take a leap of faith. But let me put it on my one credit card that I can easily dispute it because they know me, just in case I go south. I would never give them my debit card. Who knows what?
You would never do that.
Yeah.
Collector tips: do not use your debit card when buying stuff.
No,
do not,
no.
because if you lose that money, you lost your money. It's your cash.
Yeah, just sell friends and family.
Yeah, I mean,
ahead,
I use PayPal. I'll use my debit for trusted sources like Amazon, and but when it comes to pretty much any Hong Kong retailer, I do have a devoted safety net credit card that I've been with them for 20 years, and they know how I spend. So when I'm like, hey, this charge is fraud, they're like, oh, that's not a problem, Denoe. Boom, it's done. So when I placed my order for the 2-pack Boba Fett, they waited about 7 days until it processed, and I think on the 7th day they provided a tracking number. So I still, I've heard the horror stories. I'm somewhat familiar with their practices, and it wasn't until almost going into a month, right? The 3rd week, I sent them a letter. Hey, look, you guys provided a tracking number. This thing hasn't left Hong Kong. Can I get an update? I waited another week, and then on the 4th week, I go, look, I would like to discontinue my business in purchasing this figure. Can I please request a refund? Otherwise, I'll notify my credit card and I will submit a fraud charge. Exactly the words I used. And then within 24 hours, they replied back to me, and they said all sorts of excuses. Bullshit, I guess, right? They're like, oh, well, we're dealing with the Omicron virus and the COVID, and parts of it are still shut down, and this and that, and so forth. But if you look at your tracking, we have taken it to the postal, and it's left. And I did, so it left. But I shouldn't have to beat down a door 4 months after a purchase. I mean, not 4 months, 4 weeks to get traction. So the item left Hong Kong. I don't know where it's at. It's probably on a boat somewhere, a UFO, who knows? Or I'm sorry, UAP, probably going through a wormhole. So I don't have my product yet. So that's my first purchase. I haven't received the figure yet. It hasn't been very pleasant. It really hasn't. This whole situation here, this is what I've been preaching about Hot Toys probably the last 6 months. This is Hot Toys 2.0. This is a nasty variant of Hot Toys. This is an aggressive. This is more of an alpha Hot Toys. This Hot Toys that we're dealing with here, it's putting its foot down. It's drinking. It's going over with the straw, right? And it's I drink your milkshake, right? What I see, for me, I like to look into the future, right? They're throwing their first line of offense here with the letters, and they're trying to be very political about it. The letters, and then Toys Wonderland feels that they had to provide their
immediate
report.
Their
rebuttal. I mean, I don't even know if I don't even want to know.
There's a second one that we'll probably touch on too. That's even worse.
Yeah, there's another victim post right after for clarification.
Yeah. So look, we've known probably for the last couple months, right, that the industry is evolving, the industry is changing. A lot of collectors right now, including me, and we're like, I'm not day one pre-ordering anything. I mean, these Jedi mind control tricks of 16-day windows for holographic little tchotchkes and battle armors, they do nothing on me. I'm kind of like Jabba the Hutt. Those mind powers don't work on me, boy. You know, yeah, that doesn't do anything for me, because in the end, I always get my exclusives anyway, because going off of history, Sideshow exclusives always sit. So yeah, there are day one collectors who I don't want to use the word fell for it, because at the time they were excited to day one pre-order the RoboCop with the Sideshow exclusive, the battle armor, and so forth. The problem is that life changes if these figures aren't delivered within the 12 to 14 month period. Now, Hot Toys has actually been making an effort to deliver within 12 to 14 months. They really have been making a strong effort. Are there some figures that are still hitting the 2-year mark? Sure. Oh yeah. Pretty much anything, you know, during the pandemic with all that stimmy money, you know, 2012 Loki and all those Captain Rex and Ahsoka's, and I mean, I remember a time when everybody thought Moff Gideon was going to be the next Grail, and then look at him, I can pick him up bargain bin discounted in a few retail establishments just here in the US, you know, providing free shipping and a coupon on it. That's what it's gotten to now. So yeah, Hot Toys has to do this. They have to, like, it's clearly affecting their business. In the past, they clearly either ignored it or just didn't feel it was a big enough threat, right? But now it is, because it is clearly affecting their bottom dollar. Hot Toys is known for making these high-end, expensive collectible figures. They don't want to go. They don't want to release a figure into pre-order status and make a small batch, because they are committed to making a small batch now. If that's what all they've received, that's not enough skin in the game for them, right?
Right, and those are very good points as well. And not only that, we were talking about earlier how this is also affecting regular people like us who wants to sell our figures, you know. And we can argue, no, well, it doesn't have to do anything with that. Of course, you know, we're not saying directly, but maybe indirectly is, you know, maybe because, again, I put an example. I bought the Transport Trooper, for example, brand new. And when I got it, I said, you know what? I don't want to keep it. I'm just going to sell it back and get my money. You cannot even sell it for the money you pay, because it's already going for $150. You know, so it's already
$101
or $101.
Who's selling it for $101 or $150? Is it Toys Wonderland?
Yeah.
So let me delve deeper. So what Toys Wonderland does in their website is that they use clickbait pricing, right? And I shit you not, when I threw in my 2-pack Boba Fett into the shopping cart, I chose the cheapest shipping. Do you know what happens when I hit total?
Doesn't it double
to
the price?
highest shipping? Their main profit, it's no big secret, it is shipping. It is the shipping charge. I thought it was odd until I removed it. I added the cheapest shipping. I hit update, and it kicked it back to the most expensive shipping. So I get it. You are using clickbait pricing because clearly you are not profitable at $150. There's just no way. There's not enough skin in the game for you. So shipping is the way, and they may have a business license with local shipping companies and so forth. I know because when I did retail, we had a business account, and shipping was like a third of what Joe Schmo down the street would pay.
Right.
So they're clearly padding their back end through shipping. It wasn't until the third time that I finally was able to process my order through cheap shipping, through the cheapest shipping. And then it sat there. And it wasn't until I threatened them, because they're like, oh, this guy ordered it cheap. We'll put him in the back burner. We're going to take care of the customers that are willing to shell out $150 with DHL shipping.
Look,
but let me say something real quick. Sorry, Anthony, real quick. 180 people watching. Please hit the like button. We're getting there to 100 likes. Another thing I want to make another point. Fuck, I lost the train of thought. Go ahead, Anthony.
Okay, cool. Because I didn't want to lose mine. I'm piggybacking off what Zenobi said, because I can confirm this. Last night, I was, because we were talking about this, and I'm looking on the website, and okay, so you have the Venom Pool. I know you guys are familiar with the Venom Pool Hot Toys, right? They have it up there right now for $200, right? Retail is like what, $405, something like that, whatever, right? Oh shit, $200. Okay, add it to your cart. You pick the cheapest shipping. It was $160 shipping. Get the fuck out of here, right? So then you look at the new figure, which I'm getting. I know Denobi hates it. That's fine. The the venomized Iron Man. I'm getting that shit, right? They have Toys Wonderland has the non-exclusive one. So the only difference is the exclusive comes with the sword hand, right?
Right.
But they have the non-exclusive one right now for $280. Now, if you buy it on Sideshow, the exclusive and non-exclusive are the same exact price. They're the same exact price. They're 40 something, right? There's no difference, right? As it always is, right? So you're like, oh shit, okay, you can get this figure for, I think it was like $270 or some shit. Just fucking came out. I'm just doing tests, right? I add it to the cart. $165 shipping. What the fuck? Like, it does not cost $165.
Yeah.
At all. So that's to Denobi's point, right? They scam you with the clickbait.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to say before I lose my thought. So you're right, Denobi, because when I got the issue with a figure, I waited for a month, and then I have to open a PayPal case for them because I tell, listen, I need my money back. You guys are fucking bullshitting with me. This is going back and forth. I need my money. So when I open the claim with PayPal, boom, they say, okay, we're going to give you stock credit. I said, but I don't want stock credit. I don't want to buy from you anymore. So they give me stock credit, which I'm probably going to lose it. But anyway, that's it is what it is. So the thing is that if you guys do your homework, and if you use any coupon or you use any type of, store credit, if you put any figure and you choose shipping, it's going to be more expensive than if you choose the same figure without the code. So the shipping always increases, and it depends on what, if you're using a code, if you're selecting certain shipping option, it will increase the shipping all the time. So that's the worst part, right?
Just FYI, that's actually custom built code. So they intended that. That
exactly.
was a custom feature.
Oh yeah, that's a script. That's a script being ran on their site.
You put as soon as you put the code, they know that as soon as the code is in, the shipping is going to increase, let's say $10. So they pretty much, not giving you the full price because you're paying extra money for, what I mean? Like it's a very shady song. But let me say thank you to Brother Cousins for the $5 super chat. He says they kill you with the shipping is all smoke and mirrors. It is true. That's what they do. They do the shipping thing. Sometimes they forget about you for weeks, and then they send you the stuff, and sometimes they don't send you the stuff. Sometimes they send you something wrong. But anyway, you can go to your point, Josh.
Me?
Oh,
Josh?
sorry, Denobi.
I was like, let's go.
So hopefully, and I hope for those that are listening that they were able, again, I saw a lot of this. I really, really did. And I mean, that was one of the reasons I heavily promoted. Do not day one pre-order 1/6 scale figures. Now, after March and April, I did modify my rule, meaning that because a lot of the things had changed with on Sideshow's platform when it comes to pre-ordering, the day one pre-order to me does not apply towards Toy Fair exclusives or vehicles. Vehicles are a different beast. I'm telling you right now, if there is a large scale vehicle, if there's a Bark Speeder or something that you feel that you don't want to miss out, or you feel that you may have to do payments, I would probably recommend sorting that out, because when these vehicles drop, they're being dropped in an already saturated market with, at the time, a year from now, it'll be brand new announcements. It'll be pre-order releases. It'll just be a lot of stuff. I can't even imagine what it's going to be. The bargain bin garbage of the blurgs. We have 3 SKUs of the blurgs that are inbound. I can't even imagine what that's going to do. Boy, if you think you're finding good deals right now, wait till these blurgs, plural, come inbound and they just sit. I mean, we're talking $600 for vinyl rotocast and creatures that were just seen in a couple episodes of The Mandalorian. You're going to have to really think twice about how much you want Mando to ride one of these.
I don't know how that
I hope
sucks to me though, because
yeah.
pre-orders were not good on that figure. I believe that was actually a failed pre-order. I don't know if those are gonna. I'm not even saying that as a seller. Like, I'm telling you, orders were not good on that. Surprisingly not good. So I'm wondering if that was actually one of those orders where there may not actually be a lot.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
So can I here? So Gorilla Pimp 42420, $10 super chat from him. Just paid to TW 140 for 6 to 12 day shipping. After 30 days, no figure. 7 to 8 emails asking for a credit refund for shipping. All I keep getting some kind of automated response with COVID excuses. Pretty much similar. The only difference is I threaten them like, look, if I don't get some action, I'm going to claim fraud. And when a business gets X amount of fraud claims towards them, it's usually a death sentence for them. So that's how I was able to get traction out of my invoice, out of my tracking number there.
Right. And that's another collector's tip. If you know that you're not getting anywhere, tell what we just said. You're going to open a fraud claim, because technically that's fraud. Once you pay a company, and I don't care if you're small, big, if you have a label as a company and you're not giving me the service or the goods that I pay for, you're obligated to give it to me as soon as possible. If it's your wrongdoing, right? Either you got the money and you never ship it out, or you produce a fake tracking number that doesn't go anywhere. And then after you notifying customer service and all that, they answer you, but they don't give you the right answer. I mean, that's bull. I mean, you cannot, you cannot suffer this much, and that's why it's important to choose and to do your research before you buy from a certain company, and of course, if we have some type of association with any company, we're going to try to promote them, because is the name of the game. But the moment we see that something is wrong with this company, like it happened to me, and I decided to not promote the resellers that I used to work with before, I decided to part ways. That was my personal choice.
That's the shady shit, dude, right? What you're saying right there. Right. What you're saying right there is the integrity side, right? Because, right, if I'm like, yo, buy from, HG7 Hong Kong Collectibles or whatever the fuck, right? And then I start hearing that people aren't getting their orders, they're getting the fucking runaround, you're not going to hear me promote that shit anymore. Nope. So probably same with anybody on this panel. So if you're going to continue to be like, I got it from Toys Wonderland and over and over, and it's like, well, wait a minute, like
you can't hide the sun with your finger. You need to, if something is not right, it's not right, and you need to say it.
Look, we are all in boats right now in the middle of the Atlantic, and the waves are crashing against our hull. This is really, I can't stress how serious within the toy collector community is. We just lost a 45-year-old established company, Eagle Moss. All right?
What?
Eagle Moss, all right?
Oh, yeah, they're gone.
They were pruned out of existence, and now I'm stuck with a half-ass, incomplete Enterprise build kit, just like that.
Space debris.
Wait, whoa, time out. What are they doing with all the current pre-orders that exist?
They're gone. They're no longer a company.
That's it. They've been dissolved. That's it.
Oh God, I got a lot of refunds to do.
This is a 45-year-old company. So Hot Toys.
Shit, I didn't even know that, and I'm a retailer.
Yeah. So they need to step it up. They need to raise shields. They need to arm the weapons, and they need to get a little bit more aggressive, because if a 45-year-old company like Eagle Moss, years of dedication, there's a whole infrastructure on YouTube dedicated to the builds. I follow most of them. It's cool to watch these, and a lot of these channels we don't know what to do now. This is all we ever did. We followed Eagle Moss for years. We built the channel on this, right? Like that, they were pruned. So if Hot Toys does not evolve, if they don't make that extra effort, they can go away. I'm telling you. I got valid tips from good trusted sources in Hong Kong. They were this close to being pruned last year. They got their government funding. They're investing into more warehouses or whatever infrastructure. They're hiring more child labor. They're whatever they're doing, right? They're stepping up production. My thing with Toys Wonderland is that they're exhibiting that habit of borrowing from Paul to pay Peter to stay afloat. There's nothing, because they're based out of Hong Kong. they can fold overnight.
True. And one comment I want to make as well. So because they're acting as official distributor, wholesaler in many cases, they're offering payment plans, right? A company that is not literally licensed to sell hot toys, right? They're not the official distributor, but they do in payment plans. So people are paying upfront for figures. This company can say, you know what, F that, I'm out, boom. What's going to happen with your money?
It happens all the time in unlicensed anime statues. The company just disappears overnight and the money's gone.
Right.
Happens a lot in customs too.
Yeah.
And Toys Wonderland will absolutely do that. And then they'll just open under another name like Comic Forum.
Yeah, and they can pretty much kind of say, okay, we're gone. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I want to address this comment real quick because I think it's very interesting. I'm going to go with Joao and Desi so they can also talk because I feel like they're just listening too much. James Scandrel says, how much of this could be resolved by Hot Toys tightening up policies at their Hong Kong stores? So, Joao. Skip. Joe was like, he didn't sleep tonight because he was streaming at 3 a.m. in the morning. So that's what happened.
Want me to go?
Destiny.
So we're talking about what's on the screen right now.
The comment on the chat.
I thought this has already been implemented already. The Hot Toys is already tightening up already on this.
Has implemented what?
Tightening up their policies at their flagship store. They've already started singling out individuals who come in who are part of that faction associated with Toys Wonderland.
Have they?
Yeah.
But I mean, to nobody, I can't imagine that Toys Wonderland or somebody like Toys Wonderland is buying at least legitly from Secret Base. I imagine that they're getting it
under the table, and the front is people.
Yes. Either in the front or they're getting somebody else.
You would have to have the VIP or close to the VIP access, and you need to have the slip. You need to have the pre-order slip. So because the slip is usually for one person, the way it was explained to me is that you can hire individuals for $10 or $20, have them stand in line and pay for the deposit, and so that they can collect the deposit tickets. Right. That's the way I understood it. Now, I've also been told that A, they've also cracked down on that, and then B, they don't have the extra funds, the extra capital to keep doing that. So what they're doing is that they're borrowing or they're buying from other local Hong Kong resellers who tend to do it on the side, incognito and so forth. So
it is.
Those guys take a 5% cut and say, "Don't contact me for any issues. Here's whatever you need," and we get our. I genuinely believe they're buying from a direct source, though, as well.
It's something in that something
I don't
is not.
think it's so hard to track.
It is hard to track, but let me address a couple.
Falling off the back of a truck.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Thousands
all
of
of a sudden, right?
No. Little resellers.
Let me leave the back door open.
Commodity. I don't even believe the falling from truck. I think it's a lot of handshake backdoor deals, is what it is.
Yes, I don't think it's stolen. I think it's what Denobi's saying.
It's from an official retailer or distributor, and they're saying, "I want a 5% cut of whatever your profits are.
Something like that.
I get it for 30%."
All right, that's what I mean. This is like that shady backstage, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, this is just a I want to just put that out there. We don't have any proof of it. We're just kind of speculating, and this is just opinions. This is by all means is not factual. So I just want to make that clear because I don't want people to think that we know the truth and we just opine on something.
Let it be known that
but
this channel spreads lies. Hit that like button.
Let me tell you something. Okay, so hold on. Let me address a couple super chats. So Ash Chase with the $2 super chat says, showing some love to the panel tonight. Thank you so much. We have another super chat for $99 and $20. John Dick, thanks my friend for the bomb. Says, big fan, love the DeLorean hover conversion videos. Question: do you believe Do you believe Toys Wonderland has owners outside of China, in Australia? I hope you and your family are healthy and safe. Thanks. That's a good question.
Is that for me? Is that
I think it's for everyone.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, look at the Novi.
You're famous.
You're famous, Papa.
Oh, I've known John Deek for a while. John Deek is cool. Me and John Deek have never had any bad blood. So, do you believe Toys Wonderland has any owners outside of China? Well, Yeah, I thought this was already known that they just hire people for pennies on the dollar for a few bucks, and they have them stand in line, and they, I mean, you have to stand in line. I've seen it. I have several sources. I've even seen the FaceTime.
I've been
Where
there.
they stand in line, yeah, so that they can collect their, because the pre-orders at Secret Base are timed. There's usually a window of 14, sometimes it's 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually timed, and then that's why they stand in line. And then if you're a VIP member, if you're part of that, the secret, you would have the first dibs. And it's these VIP members are the ones who work in conjunction with Toys Wonderland. I think Toys Wonderland is sinking. I think they're
in trouble.
because the problem is though too is that they're also sitting on heavy dead stock too, and the number one killer to a retailer is dead stock. So they're trying. My impression is that they seem to be borrowing from Paul to pay Peter. They're kind of doing the cup with the marble. They're juggling a lot right now to stay relevant, to stay afloat. I would just what's the word? I would beware. Is what I would probably label this, because if Toys Wonderland is being rocked, and then everybody's kind of like, well, they'll do another Comics and Forum, whatever, or another site. Like, no,
It's not gonna be that easy though.
no, it's the thing is that the industry is changing. The collector's dollar, the collector's spending is also evolving as well too. So it's not like what it was in 2020, at the end of 2020, where everybody was kind of beaten off to the Mandalorian, and everybody just thought, it was just heaven and ice cream and cake, and we're getting all these clone troopers. And by the end of 2021, everybody kind of like woke up from the honeymoon, and then just like this stuff, they're really kind of seeing that the whole value now. The whole, for me, I have no sympathy when collectors are like, well, I can't sell my Thanos. Well, that's kind of like a year one collector problem, because I kind of saw the markings on the wall within 2019, because Sideshow, when in early 2019, within that whole year, they kept reissuing batches. It wasn't even reissue. It was just a second batch and third batch. I was kind of already seeing the cracks on the wall, like, oh my God, this stuff is going to sit. How many Thanoses do we need? How many? And they just, and you saw examples of that, of like Thor, like the Infinity War Thor. You saw where it wasn't even reissue. It was just like, oh, it's on wait list. We'll make another batch of, I don't know, 10,000 units. So those
it was happening.
were already there. And then once we got to 2020 and everything was shut down, and when I had a lot of free time, you start to put things on a chart. You're like, this isn't gonna end very well. This isn't gonna make any sense. This is a disaster. And I get it. Everybody's uploading, trying to dump Marvel. I hate to say it, but that's kind of like on the collector. It's a saturated market. You just don't sell. But I need money to know. Well, hey. For me as a collector, as a veteran collector, I love to flip. I sell a lot on eBay, but I buy things outside of Hot Toys, because I knew the Hot Toys market was shifting pretty early on. I've been in, I buy HasLabs and Kickstarters and crowdfunding stores, Mondo. There's other stuff that I've been really, really successful with, even in this market. The Razor Crest. Everybody, I wish I had the Razor Crest. I was talking about the Razor Crest. Nobody listened to me when I mentioned the Razor Crest when I was on pre-order. The thing is a fortune now. So the whole market, that's kind of on us. We're the ones that kind of not me though. I'm keeping all my Marvel. I'm not unloading anything right now. I'm not giving away anything free.
No, of course not. Of course not. No, of course not. But one thing that is happening, and everyone, and Jendik, thank you so much for the 1999 super chat. I'm gonna go to the next one in just a second. The truth of the matter is that when you have companies like Toys Wonderland that offers figures at a super cheap prices after the day one announcement or whatever, it affects everyone in reality. Whether you're a store or not. Because it gets difficult to sell the figures, right? If you're an official distributor that you pay your monthly service or whatever that is that you pay to be entitled to what the hell happened with Josh, to be entitled to be, in that network, you're losing. And so many of them, so many of those stores close their business. And that's not fair to them.
And you mentioned the transport trooper. I waited. In fact, the transport trooper just came in today. I paid $210, no tax, no shipping, from a comic book store in Texas. So I waited. I'm not in a big hurry. Again, I've said this. I'm here to curate my collection. I want the best deal. I'm willing to wait. Give me the best coupon, right?
Get your logo off my face.
What's that?
Get your nasty, stinky logo off my
did.
face.
There you go.
Oh,
Let's go.
That's better. There we go.
You filed a claim, which the card you use. If you use the credit card, if you use your debit, the bank, it's always a little bit more challenging. I have a MasterCard that I use that I've had for over 20 years, and they know the way I spend. So I specifically used it for Toys Wonderland because I typically will use my debit, but I'm like, I don't trust this place. It's easier to get my money back through my MasterCard than it is through my Chase. Chase are like, they ring me. They don't trust me.
Yeah, and it's more bullshit that we as consumers have to go through too, right?
Yeah.
And it's like
It's
when
crap,
and I mentioned this, I bought Zombie Deadpool, right? And I was looking through my Sideshow stuff. I bought him in March, I think. Yeah, I bought him in March. I was looking through my orders today, right? So I bought Zombie Deadpool from Sideshow retail. I think he was like $270, $275, right? Tax, shipping, maybe he was $310, $320. I gotta look at my order, but right then it's like $120. You're like, what the fuck, right? Now I'm not gonna sell them because I love zombies, right? So, but the point is, how does that make you feel as a collector? Well, all of a sudden you're like, damn, if I would have just waited, then it like things in your head go like, oh, like shame on you, you're stupid. You just wasted $200. Like you just think that, right? Because that's not the only thing you buy. You buy times that by 10 different figures. You just blew like $2,000 to nothing, right? So you're like,
you just blew a Razor Crest.
Right. So it's like, it's like holy shit, right? So, and then on the flip side of the coin, if you are wanting to get rid of your figure, and that the word is already out that said figure is $200 below retail. Good luck fucking trying to sell that figure. It's not going to happen. And that's not, and I'm only using one figure as an example, but that's been like 50 plus figures. So now
all the most recent.
Right. So now look at the market as a whole. People are just like, oh, hell no, I'm not paying that. You paid retail? Fuck no. I want at least $100 off that figure. It's still in stock. Oh, forget it. You're not selling it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's there's a lot more going on than just some resellers. Like you have to look at the impact. Think of a nuclear bomb, right? Yeah. Nuclear bomb goes off, and then after that, there's a shockwave, and then after that, there's fucking decades of fallout. So it's there's a lot more going on here than just this.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Anthony. There's a lot of finger pointing, and I do think a lot of it, it can fall on the collector community as well too.
Exactly.
It is.
We cannot, everyone has to do with this, right? At one point, all of us were guilty of doing some, buying something that we shouldn't from a specific company, right? Because again, it is okay to hunt for discounts. It is okay to get, something at a good price so you can save some money. That's the point. Everyone wants to save money, right? If you can save $10, $20, $50, it's more than welcome. That's reality, but the point here, right? And before I address the super chat, is that when you have companies that do these shady beginner practices, and it is not this, we don't talk about it. We're lying to people. We're not being transparent. And the point in this community is to share. Everyone shares everything. We share collectibles. We share pictures of our collection. We share news, rumors, and everything, because that's how the community is. We like to share, give it out to the community. So our responsibility is to always talk about these issues so people can be educated. Like, for example, this super chat, right? How can he, where do I file a fraud claim? you know, if they keep with if they keep with the bullshit. Well, you can call your credit card company and say, hey,
Yeah, whatever
listen,
card you used.
whatever card you use, just call your credit card company and say, listen, I've been trying to get my money back on this from this company, and it's pretty much a fraud. You know, they're scamming me. And you open a fraud claim right there. They will tell you what to do, the process, and let me tell you, you will get your money within 24 to 48 hours probably.
May I make a suggestion on that?
Sure.
Because I've lost a fraud case before, and I'll never forget why I lost it. So if you
Because you're a fraudster.
Huh?
Just kidding.
No. I mean, I was the buyer.
Okay.
No. So if you buy something through PayPal, dispute it first through PayPal. You can always dispute it with your credit card company after that. But if you dispute it with your credit card company, you officially cut PayPal out of the equation, and the evidence is gone. So just be aware that you should go in the steps. You don't have to skip straight to your credit card. Just FYI.
If it was through PayPal.
If it was through PayPal,
right.
Credit card, of course.
Right. That's what I did before when I had this issue. What I did was, first of all, contacting customer service like you would normally do, right? Contact customer service and see what they say. You know, you said, okay, you need to wait 2 days, for example. Okay, I waited 2 days. Listen, I waited 2 days. I'm looking at the window. Nobody's here. I want my money back. Oh, but you know, let us check now internally here in Hong Kong with DHL. Dude, DHL told me that it's in freaking New York. What are you gonna check in Hong Kong for? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Dante, they're checking.
I said, okay, go ahead. 3 days. You know, emailing them. I need my money back. And they will give me bullshit excuses. No, we're still checking. Now we need to check with this and with that. I'm like, okay. I'm keep waiting. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I opened a PayPal claim. And as soon as I told, listen, I'm opening my PayPal claim because you guys are not doing nothing, and I want my money back. They came back. They give me a percentage discount. They give me a store credit, you know. And that's what I noticed when I used that discount code they gave me. You know, that's what I noticed, that they increased the shipping prices, because when I put that figure without the code, it was, I don't know, just to put a number, $20 shipping. And then when I put the figure with the code, it was like a $25, $30 shipping. So I'm like, what the hell? You know, it was crazy. But go ahead, Josh. Or whoever wants to continue
what is
with
our
the point.
topic
I think I
currently?
cut somebody.
Well, what about this? Well, we've had this on the screen for 30 minutes.
Yes. So this here, this is just funny. So look. So they pretty much, this is the most common questions they're getting, right? It's hard to shut it down.
This was a panic post for sure, because I'm not gonna lie, I started circulating their wholesale program the second I woke up this morning and saw this, because that's some shit. Because I was emailed 2 years ago about their wholesale program regarding Hot Toys as well, and this is a complete and utter lie, and they're just trying to put out whatever they can to put out fires. I'm not gonna say what page. I don't think I'm allowed to, but it's amazing to see these posts, and all of us are like, well, this is obviously ridiculous. There is a massive community that completely agrees and follows this blindly. It's really incredible.
Well, how can you not? Look, it's bullet pointed and everything. It must be official.
Look at it. It looks so official.
It looks very good.
Looks right to me. I don't know.
I mean, they're in an absolute panic right now. There's a lot of uncertainty, and I think a lot of this is going to unfold as we continue. And the other thing I did want to address, a lot of people keep blaming this on Sideshow. Sideshow didn't put this out. Sideshow wasn't like, if you don't put this Hot Toys, it's over. Like, this is not a Sideshow thing. Hot Toys is genuinely hurting, and they feel like it's time to nip this in the butt. We'll see what happens, but...
Yeah, and again, we're not here to tell you where to buy from. You can buy from whoever you want. We're just sharing our experiences, and happy to be that most of us has some type of experiences, like horror stories to tell. And not only that, you can see different Facebook groups that people that bought items from them, they complain about it. They got issues. You know, they shared emails, they share correspondence with this company that they didn't fulfill the orders on time, or they never sent the item to them, and they were waiting for longer time. You know, but this announcement here is to me ridiculous. I mean, it's hard to shutting down Toys Wonderland with lawsuits and legal action, so it operates as a reseller. So they kind of pretty much hiding themselves into the reseller shield. but technically they're not doing that. They just scamming people that they say, oh no, we have how can you have a reseller? How can okay, I'm a reseller. Do I have a wholesale program?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't. How I'm gonna have it? How can you have a wholesale program? You need to be associated with the provider, right? You need to be associated with somehow with Hot Toys to be a wholesaler. That's something that I don't understand. How can you do that?
That page has been deleted.
Of course, they have to be deleted.
The post still exists on Facebook, and it was too late for them to delete it because after that circulated, they put this out. But the actual wholesale program page is gone.
Exactly.
The Facebook post from Toys Wonderland officially is there. Just FYI.
Exactly. That's what they do. I mean, look at this. Toys Wonderland operates as a reseller. We have never claimed to be an official distributor for Hot Toys. No, that's true. They never claim, but they act one.
You don't have to claim it if your actions speak it.
Right. So
if you push out 1,000 figures, I just wanted to sell some figures. I'm a reseller. It's a free market. Come on, man.
So, I know there's more to talk. I mean, I know we spent pretty much the whole show talking about this. There's so many, things that is going to unfold in the next few days, a few weeks. So we pretty much going to be alert, and whatever we see, we obviously going to talk about it and share. By all means, if you support the company, it's good. It's on you, really. It doesn't affect us at all. But we have a responsibility to say what we think and to share what experiences we had with this company, right? And this is again nothing personal against anybody. This is just our thoughts and our opinions, and we're not claiming that we are right. We're not saying that we're wrong. And
here
we try to educate because we care about the community in this hobby. We're not here to
that's the bottom line.
A specific group of collectors. We're here to help. I mean, call me biased, whatever you want. I literally have collectibles behind me. This isn't my office. This is my house. This is actually my master bedroom. I don't have a bedroom. I have a collectibles room.
Go ahead, Anthony.
We're here to educate collectors who are new to the hobby, old to the hobby, and we're here to direct those who are in need of guidance or just want to learn more about this amazing hobby that we're in. It's a really incredible hobby, and I don't want it ruined by anyone.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Well, I would just like to say the last 2 bullet points to me are a fucking joke. Specifically saying that the first is Hot Toys has no jurisdiction to prevent us from purchasing products in the open market, right? So it's kind of a jab, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. That's a jab. That's a jab at them. And then the second, we want to assure you that every single order
and pre-order
you've made for Hot Toys products through us is 100% secured, and you will receive your order. When you couldn't be further from the fucking truth, because half of us never get orders.
How can you assure that if you're not licensed to get?
They were having issues fulfilling orders.
Yeah.
Now there's a real threat, and that's just literally an opportunity to hold your money as long as you can till like 6 months passes. It might be a last ditch effort to hold money.
Well, look, here's the bottom line, though, Josh. If I could just interrupt real quick.
No, all you.
What I think people don't get, and it's not their fault. It's absolutely not their fault because of the way it's presented, is that Toys Wonderland. Let's change the name and we'll just call it Wonder Toys, right? And it's us here.
We just put it Comic Concepts.
It's okay. Because he's got one. He's got one. So the 6 of us here decide. You know what? We're gonna just buy a bunch of figures and resell them to people. Fuck it. We don't need a license. We don't need shit. You've got 10 grand. I got 10 grand. You got 10. Let's just pull some resources together. Buy a shitload of stuff. You're good at websites. Put up the fucking website. Let's make it happen. It's all under the table, and and go. And we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want to do, right? And okay, cool, capitalism, right? Yeah, I get it. But look at what's happening. That's what Toys Wonderland is. They're not a company. That's where people, I think, and that's fine. If you, again, as everybody said, if you want to go buy there, do so. It's your money, your prerogative. But no, that's why there's all this announcements from Hot Toys and whatnot, because they're not a company. It's just a group. It's just a group of dudes. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, technically,
they are a company, though. They have a large staff.
Right.
Yeah,
So
sure,
they are a company, but
not through Hot Toys.
exactly. So this is the difference. They are a company, but they are not officially licensed to sell. They're not official distributors. That's the issue.
It's not free market if a manufacturer is literally targeting you and saying, "Stop, we don't endorse this. Stop selling our stuff."
Right, that's the first letter. That's the letter Hot Toys put out.
I mean, this is no longer about free market. This is you are literally ruining our business, and we're going to come after you if you do not stop. This is a perfect case of like Icarus getting too close to the sun. Toys Wonderland just kept growing and growing and growing until now everybody knows about it, and boom, manufacturers can't even deal with the fact that they've annihilated and destabilized their markets.
Yeah.
And listen, you know what? It's just, it irritated me because whatever affiliation there always was, with Justin as an association, like I tried to talk to him about it before, right? Because like he would always, absolve himself of it. But then when there were complaints, then he would defend them. So I was always like, well, what the hell, man? So, it was like, come on and talk. Let's debate on it. But that never happened. So, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm sure any of us would be, if you want to really be transparent about it, go ahead. That'd be cool. And I promise you, it wouldn't be a gang up.
Exactly, so, because remember one thing we're forgetting, if I'm working with a company and that company is not doing right, I'm gonna talk to the company and say, listen, that I have many followers. I have people that follows me and buys because I influence them to buy from you. You need to do good to these people because that's also my reputation, is my face in there. I'm not gonna be working with a company that scam people, period. And I don't care how much they pay me. It's just my reputation is more valuable than that. That's just me. That's why I said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Because this is not, if I'm saying something, I cannot do the opposite, and price matters, man. We cannot ignore prices. We also always need to talk about prices. That's how responsible collectors are built, with prices, So we're going to wrap this up, guys. I think it's been a long night talking about this Toys Wonderland topic. I hope that this was a very informative discussion to you guys. I know, there's more to be said. I don't think this is the end of it. I can see that we're going to get more news in the near future, so I'm going to go around the table to see what's going on the channels. My friend Anthony, thank you so much for being with us. What's going on in the Mafia land?
Hey, well, thanks for the invite as always, brother. Yeah, well, tomorrow night, back Saturday night, right? Well, I got my stream tomorrow night, so I'm sure we'll probably touch on this a little bit. There, I've been a little MIA. Last week I know Brother Cousins was here in the chat. I don't know if he still is, so that's why I didn't do last Saturday, because we did Thursday for him for being on vacation. So sorry, guys. I know a lot of people were like, hey, where you at Saturday night? So we're back tomorrow night, so that should be fun. And other than that, man, just same old stuff, man. News, updates, all that good jazz, man. So it's fun, man. And that's the whole point, right? This collecting should be fun at the end of the day, right? It sucks, but obviously this is, there's a ripple here in the ocean, right? So you're kind of like, well, what the hell's going on? Because it's not fair. And, again, we've talked all night about it, but it's just, there's so many new collectors coming in and they have no idea what's going on. So that's why, we talk about shit like this.
Exactly. And this is important to speak up and say what we think. And again, we're not claiming we know the truth. We're not claiming that we know everything. We're just sharing what we think, our point of view based on our experience as well. Mr. Right. Joao, thank you so much for being here. I know that you had a long night, and I know it's been a crazy roller coaster this stream, but what's going on your channel, my friend?
Thank you. No, it was amazing to listen your valuable opinions about these Hot Toys vs Toys Wonderland. I just want to add that things work a bit differently in Asia than they work in North America, and it's quite easy for any of us. If I want now, I can be a distributor for Hot Toys in China easily, as long as I have the money, right? Because Hot Toys is always searching for agents here. If you want to be an agent from Hot Toys, the minimum I think is around $60,000 that you need to enter to become their agent. So I think that's the way Toys Wonderland did not by themselves. They did not pay that money, but they found some agent here in China that could supply to them like through a backdoor and not through and by this way they can avoid to do those pre-order slips or something like that. And Hot Toys in Hong Kong, they don't even know where Toys Wonderland is getting their product. So that's other problem, and that's an issue already with customs between China and Hong Kong. Then I don't know how hard Hot Toys will go after that. But yeah, I'm for my channel, I'm finishing the bank robber, the diorama I showed you last time, and I think I will be ready by next week, and I will post a video on the YouTube about that.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. No, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Desi, what's going on in Metamorphic Customs world?
Thank you, Dante. This is a great discussion. Maybe an unfortunate topic, but a good topic to discuss, and we have to. On my channel, dropping a video tomorrow morning. I did a weathering of that Jazz Inc. Sand Speeder, the race speeder.
Ooh.
Looks a lot better now. So I'm dropping that tomorrow, and just thank you for having me, guys, on the chat. Please subscribe to everybody here. They're great content creators. Check out Comic Concepts, and thank you again, Dante, for having me. Great night.
No, man, thank you so much. I'm gonna skip Josh for now, and I'm gonna go with Danovi. Danovi, thank you so much for making some time for us. I know that you were running, came from work, so we appreciate that you were able to stop by.
Oh, absolutely. I don't have anything planned right now, though, but I always like to be spontaneous. So maybe something this weekend. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Maybe we'll get a weekend drop. Who knows? This new version of Hot Toys. They're dropping things so abnormal. I mean, they haven't even been following their own schedule. So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, at this point, anything can happen. And before I go with Josh, thank you, Howard Stores, for the $10 super chat. Great show, gentlemen. We really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, guys. I know I skipped so many chats. We just got so many messages. So thank you for your patience and all that. Josh, my friend, what's going on in Comic Concepts? And do you have anything that we should know in terms of stock?
So stock-wise, we just started shipping Mysterio's Iron Man Illusion. Low stock on the Batmobile. We got Vision in from WandaVision. All these are shipping. They're ready to go right now. Just hit me up if you need one or go through the site. You're welcome to. Things going on for Comic Concepts. As far as I know, based on the last email, we are officially beta testing the new site. We are going to be beta testing with a few people as of tomorrow. Functionality, make sure the experience is a lot better, a lot less BS, and you having to message me to get things that you need and having to wait on me, which I really just want a good customer experience. Hopefully that will launch next week. If not, sorry. I have a full-time job. I can't do it all. I'm doing my best, I promise. But the amazing thing happening September 1st through the 5th for all my Southern collectors, we are officially having a booth at Dragon Con. We have a large booth. We're going to be displaying a lot of statues. Unfortunately, we're not really going to be doing Hot Toys because I didn't want to cover any of the displays, and I didn't want someone sprinting off with a figure. So we're going to have a lot of statues. May have some prototypes from big names that I can't mention yet. But all genres and brands will be present in this booth. Please stop by. We'll be doing giveaways for Hot Toys at the booth. And yeah, I'm really excited. It's honestly been a childhood dream ever since I went to San Diego Comic Con and saw Sideshow's booth and I'll never forget, the first thing I saw was the Sideshow Collectibles Deathwing, and I got it.
Nice.
And this is honestly a really big moment for myself and Comic Concepts as a whole. I'm really excited. Even if it bombs and even if it's awful, I'm still excited to at least have the opportunity to display and have a big booth at a massive convention. I mean, Dragon Con's 90K attendees. It's pretty decent. San Diego Comic Con is 135 to give you an idea of size. So please come by. We're going to try to do a collector's dinner too. I'd love to meet all the people in the South who collect, and it'll be fun.
Then of a midnight run?
Maybe. Depends. Depends.
Easy.
Asking twice. Easy Collectibles, my friend, will be there. What's going on my channel? So, if you're here still watching and still, listening to us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to all my friends' channels here. All the links are in the description below. If you are a member and you recently got kicked out, please rejoin. I changed the membership. So if you rejoined, please send me a message so I can send you the Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group where we talk about figures. And I'm going to work on the review of the Luke Skywalker deluxe edition that I got a couple weeks ago. I'm going to drop it and put it this weekend. I'm going to get from Josh I have to make the decision, but I'm going to get the zombie Iron Man. So that one should be here next week if he can ship it quick. And whatever drops, meaningful release, because I cannot get everything. But eventually I will start catching up with reviews because I'm waiting for Josh to get those figures so I can start showing you the reviews. But hey, listen, it is what it is. The purpose of this channel is to inform people, to show you the figures, my collection, my reviews in my own style. It's just a hobby, but I think that as content creators, I guess we can name ourselves content creators, is to talk to you guys and pretty much educate you and make sure that you don't make mistakes and maybe mistakes that we made in the past. So that's the purpose of all this. But yeah, stay tuned for that. It's coming next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, the whole thing. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, let me go back to my thing here. Hold on. All right. And as always, be well and see you around.
Be well. And as always,
see you around in the next video.